everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back in a new video. Today, in this video, I'll be talking about various video games that I play that are based on SHTF situations. Now, I always like playing. I'm a gamer. I like playing video games, whether it be just story mode or playing online with different other gamers. But a lot of games I like to play are centered around the kind of disaster scenarios or kind of apocalyptic stuff. Doomsday kind of things, and the thing is, as a prepper, these games actually have they do hold some value to them, especially for those who are younger, and maybe you may know someone who's older than you who's getting into this, or your parents are getting into this kind of stuff, and it can serve as a motivator for young gamers to think about possible scenarios that may come later down the line in their life, and some of the games I play actually can help get the ball rolling and in creating a new generation of preppers. One of the games I have is Fallout 3. I got this. This is the first game I got for my PS3. This game is set in the year, if I'm correct, 2277, and it's about these vaults. There was predictions of a war, they called the Great War. A war was coming, and these vaults were created, which were made to house certain different types of people. Many of the vaults, they were designed different from each other for experimental reasons, but but in this game, Vault 101 is the topic, and one of the vault members leaves the vault to find his father, who apparently left the vault, and he goes out into DC. The game is set in DC, and he goes out into DC and he sees the landscape is scorched. It's blown away houses. There's various types of mutated wildlife, and there are many raiders, cannibals, things like that. But there are also good people, people who actually can train the character to get used to the new environment. People who can sell items, sell you goods. You can barter for weapons, barter for clothing. You can have clothing prepared. You can get food. You actually have a Geiger counter on this device in your arm called a Pip-Boy, and it allows you to keep track of your inventory. It has a map, GPS map, has a radio, and like I said, it also has a Geiger counter. It also lets you know what parts of your body need to be healed using various different types of medicine. But the game is pretty good. It gives a sense of how things could be in a disaster situation. There are various different parts throughout the game you can explore. You can explore the subway tunnels. You can explore abandoned buildings. Start scavenging for supplies. And those are the kind of things that could happen if things, let's say the power goes out and you may have to go out and scavenge for supplies. In fact, there's a mission in this game where you have to create a book called The Wasteland Survival Guide. And you help the author create the book by gathering material through your experiences. So one of the things you have to do is use a chapter on gathering food, and you have to go inside the supermarket and find out what kind of food you can find in a rundown supermarket. But while you're there, a bonus would be to find medicine. But as you go farther into the market, you run into raiders, and so there's some combat involved. There's a chapter on landmine detection. There's a chapter on combating different types of wildlife, and basically the whole mission compiles to making a book to help people survive out in the waste. So it has a lot of prepping and survivalist elements in this game, and I recommend a lot of people out there who are into gaming and who are also into prepping, or if you're a young individual and who are around you prepping, it's a good game to check out. Fallout New Vegas. This one is set in a continuation after Fallout 3. This is set in the western part of the U.S. Set around Nevada, Utah, I believe Colorado may be one of the locations, and California. Those are those areas. In this game, you play as a courier who's delivering a package, but he's ambushed and shot in the head, but he doesn't die. So he wakes up in his doctor's house, who's patched him up, and he's on a quest to find out what the package was, who are the people that killed him, or who people that shot him rather, who tried to kill him, and figure out what all is going on. And with this game, just like in Fallout 3, there are various side missions and subplots and things like side stories, things like that, even Easter eggs. What I like about this game is it has new elements that aren't in Fallout 3. One of the things you can do in this game is you can reload. You can gather scrap metal, you can gather spent cases, spent shotgun shells, and you can buy black powder, or you can find gunpowder, I should say, and you can buy primers, or you can find primers sometimes, and you can go to a reloading station, and you can make various types of ammo. You can make factory reloads, you can make hollow points, you have jacket hollow points, you can get armor piercing rounds, they have incendiary rounds, even have some exotic ammunition. There are EMP pulse rounds you can shoot from a shotgun. There are plasma rounds you can shoot from a shotgun. You can shoot. You even have something called coin shot. Yeah, because there are various factions in this game. One of them is called Caesar's Legion, and basically you come across legionaries out on the waste, and if you kill any of them, you can find these gold coins. You can actually load those coins in shotgun shells. And the cool thing is, when you actually examine whoever you shot, you can actually pull those coins back out. Some of them will be mangled, but there are some that will still be good to use for another reload. So there's a lot of recycling in this game. You can recycle batteries. You can recharge batteries that have been expended. We're using energy weapons like laser rifles or plasma rifles, things like that. One of the cool things in this game, there's something that you can make things by a campfire. Now, I know one of the elements of survival is having clean water. Now, in this game, as opposed to Fallout 3, there's more clean water available in this game. But in case you're too far from a water source, what you can do is there's a recipe for mass purified water, in which you collect 5 bottles of dirty water, and you have 2 water pitchers, and surgical tubing, and a campfire, and you can actually create, out of those 5 bottles of dirty water, you can create 4 bottles of clean water, which I think is interesting. It accounts for waste. It accounts for the water that would be wasted. So you would waste a bottle of dirty water while trying to get clean water. So I think that's a pretty interesting element that was thrown into this game. You can also fix weapons. You can customize weapons, as well as, like I said, the ammunition. And there are various wildlife out there. More scavenging you can do inside buildings, and the game is pretty cool. Like I said, I encourage a lot of young adults who are getting into prepping. Check these games out. It can give you some ideas as to some things you can do. The last game I bought, it's called The Last of Us. This just came out this year in June, and this game is actually about a massive pandemic as I guess it's taken over the world, where it's based on a real-life parasite that attaches to an insect's head, and while it's attached to the head, is able to control the body of the insect. And it's like some science fiction where it says that the same parasite has now affected humans. And what happens? It turns humans, and it makes them extremely aggressive. Think about the movie 28 Days Later, like that. And they become extremely aggressive. Whoever they attack, they get infected, and within a matter of hours, they turn into one of the affected individuals. And you play as a character named Joel, who's a man who there's a lot of emotional elements in this game. His daughter was killed by a soldier who they were trying to evacuate a county in Texas, and they were stopped by a soldier after a car wreck. And the soldier was given the order to kill anyone who he came in contact, whether they were infected or not. And so Joel was shot, and his daughter was killed by by gunshot, but his brother showed up, his brother Tommy showed up and shot the soldier. And basically it hardened Joel to where he became a brutal survivalist. He became a smuggler. And there's a part in the game where he talks about hunters, people who they kill people who come into various cities looking for supplies, or just even wandering close by. They kill them and take their stuff. They're called hunters. The hunters call those people tourists. And he says, Joel mentions in the game that he's been on both sides of the fence. So he's been ambushed, and he's been someone who's done the ambushing. But his mission is to smuggle a girl, the girl right there in the front with the rifle. Smuggle her. Her name's Ellie. Smuggle her across the U.S. Well, it's supposed to be from a section of Boston to the Capitol, to the Capitol building. But then it leads them on a trip across the U.S. In this game, you learn a lot of sneak tactics. How to cause distractions to distract any enemies you may come across. There's lots of melee, fist fighting is in the game. And one of the things I like about this game is the element of finding ammunition. Ammunition is scarce. Not to say that you can't scavenge off of any bad guys you come across. You can, but what it does is the lack of availability of ammunition. It causes you to try to create new tactics. And one of the things you can do is you can use a bow and arrow in this game. And various spots of the body, if you hit the top of the shoulder on someone's back, you can actually break the arrow. But if you aim close to the spine, the arrow will stay intact, and you can collect your arrows. So it's a way of conserving your arrows. So shot placement matters in this game. You can modify weapons, or you can upgrade the magazine capacity, how fast you can reload, the power that it has. You can make knives. The funny thing is, in this game they don't have knives. You have to make a knife called a shiv. Basically, you get broken scissors and some duct tape, and some cloth. You can make a shiv. It's a one-time use, but you can create better shivs that make them last a lot longer. You can also create explosives. It's funny, you can gather scissors, screws, and fertilizer to make nail bombs, which is I think is a cool addition to this game. You can make health packs. You can even modify melee weapons. So if you got a baseball bat, you can modify them with scissors so that you can make more. So you can make like a spiked baseball bat, so you can have more brutal attacks. The game is very good. It has a pretty interesting story. I kind of wish the game was longer, but it is challenging. Yet not only do you face off against other hunters, you face off against cannibals, and you face off against the infected. And this game will actually help you think about how do you run into other people. Just like in these other games, you do interact with other people. You also have in these games you have speech options, so you can determine on the things you say can. It can either make the situation better or make the situation worse. But I think it's good to point out that there are various video games out there. There are obviously more than these three that I have that touch on the topic of survival on prepping. And just because I guess most people who are prepping right now, they may be older individuals and they may think video games can be a waste of time. But I say, just like you would base a lot of the preps you do on various literature you read, whether it be by James Wesley Rawls or other authors. Video games, at least they're more interactive. So it's a video game environment. You can kind of lend yourself to the game and think about if you come to this area, what would you look for first? How would you handle different attackers? Would you run? Would you fight? Would you try to make a deal? Things like that. So these games, as they're appealing to a younger crowd, they can motivate young individuals to get into the activity of prepping because in the long run it will be for their benefit and for the benefit of others around them. As far as anyone that they may run across who may need some help, or they may receive help from other people as well. But that's my video. If you have any comments, questions, criticisms, gripes, what have you, just direct them to me. It's actually be respectful to other people who comment on these videos. So that's it. I'm Edward Jones, and thank you for watching my video.